Just the other day, I was talking to Tiffany and I had an epiphany. While I was talking to her, I realized that whenever I learn something new, I feel like everyone knows it. And then when they start asking me questions, it's like, you should know that already because I just read it in the book. So I feel like they read the book too. And that is not the correct way to approach life. We have to be more patient with people and patient with ourselves. Give ourselves time to learn things and understand things, and also learn how to teach people effectively as well. Because not everyone knows what you know. And it doesn't matter how smart someone is, there's things that they don't know, just like there's things that you don't know. And after giving it some thought, I realized that the reason why this happens is because of the way that we were taught in school. We sat down in a classroom with 15 to 25 other students and we were taught a specific subject and then tested on that subject. So everyone was expected to understand the same information. So whenever I'm reading a book outside of school, I feel like I'm in that same environment because that's the type of environment that most of us were educated in for majority of our childhood. And those years set the foundation for the rest of our lives. So it's time to unlearn and relearn because we deserve to learn things that serve us, not just things that make us nervous. I'm not sure about you, but I do this a lot, and it's mainly with my mom. I don't know why, but I just feel like she should know certain things. But I've realized that it's very ignorant of me to assume so. But she definitely does it to me too. Actually, I probably even learned it from her. For some of us, our parents didn't receive as much formal education as we did because they had to play the cards that they were dealt. And we do not truly understand how privileged we are to have the amount of education that we've had throughout our lives, and we didn't have to deal with the struggles that they did, because many of them don't know how to teach. They only know how to preach. The only time many of our parents know how to teach is when they got that belt in their hand, because with that belt they got a plan. They're gonna make sure you learn your lesson. As my mom will always say, if you're not here, you must feel. But for real though, we gotta be more patient with our peers as well as our kin, because that's the only way that we're going to win. The way that you maneuver through life is going to be different from the way that others maneuver through life, but we can learn from one another and possibly earn with one another, because if each one teaches one, then we only have to reach one. It was just the other day that I took my mom to the grocery store because they had a sale on watermelons, 2 for $5. And when she told me that, I was like, $5 for a melon? Who you telling? Say no more, because we got to go in that door. And once we got to the store, she was like, do you know how to pick out melons? And I was like, no, I thought you did. So I pulled up a YouTube video and we learned how to pick out some nice, juicy melons. So apparently there's 3 things that you look for. When you look at the melon, you want to make sure that there's a nice yellow spot on it. And then you want to look at the nipple and make sure it's brown, because if it's green, that means that it got picked too soon. And then you want to tap the melon and make sure that it has a hollow sound. Because if you checked off 1, 2, and it's nice and hollow, that means you got yourself a nice, juicy melon. And we picked out 2 nice ones. When we got home, sure enough, them things was juicy. And then we went to Aldi's, and that's when I realized that when you understand something, you feel like other people know it as well. So she picked up some bananas and she was like, feel this if it's soft. And I felt them and I was like, yeah, they're soft. And then she grabbed them from me and put them back. Then I was like, if they're soft, they're good. She was like, yes, but you don't want them too soft because they'll spoil faster. But the way she said it was like I should have already known that. And I was just thinking to myself, you act like you taught me this already. Did you teach me? No, you didn't. You damn sure didn't. But that situation made me realize that I do the same exact thing to her all the time. And I'm pretty sure it's something that I learned from her. But I need to unlearn it. I just need to burn it. I need to be more patient with people, because patience is a virtue and the lack of it will hurt you. And it's about that time. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you're notified every time I make a new post. Build a foundation so that you're no longer stuck on a plantation. Until next time.